Some places have stories so terrifying, so deeply unsettling that they refuse to be forgotten. A grand hotel that inspired one of the scariest horror stories of all time. An underground tomb filled with millions of skeletal remains. A prison where the cries of the past still echo through the empty halls. Why do certain locations seem trapped in time, forever haunted by tragedy? Are these just legends, or is there something truly sinister lurking in the shadows? Let's count down the 10 most haunted places in pop culture. Places that have terrified visitors, inspired horror stories, and remain etched in history as some of the most chilling spots on Earth. The Paris Catacombs. France, deep beneath the streets of Paris, lies a massive underground labyrinth. Unlike the bustling cafes and elegant architecture above, the Paris Catacombs hold something far more chilling: endless walls of human skulls and bones, stacked neatly in long, winding tunnels. In the late 18th century, the cemeteries of Paris were overflowing, and authorities decided to transfer the remains of over 6 million people into these underground passageways. Today, only a small portion of the catacombs is open to the public, but that hasn't stopped explorers from venturing into the forbidden tunnels and getting lost forever. Visitors report hearing whispers in the darkness, feeling unseen hands touch them, and even seeing shadowy figures moving between the bones. The 2014 horror film As Above, So Below brought the terrifying legend of the catacombs to a new audience, making it one of the most infamous haunted locations in the world. 9. Poveglia Island, Italy. Just off the coast of Venice sits Poveglia Island, a place so cursed that even the locals refuse to go near it. Over centuries, it served as a quarantine zone for plague victims, and later a mental asylum where unspeakable experiments were rumored to have taken place. It's said that over 160,000 people died here, their bodies buried in mass graves. Visitors claim to hear screams echoing across the abandoned buildings, and there are countless stories of people seeing ghostly figures wandering the island. The most infamous tale is of the asylum's doctor, who allegedly performed cruel experiments on patients before going insane himself, driven to jump from the island's bell tower. Italy has officially banned visitors from stepping foot on Poveglia, yet its terrifying reputation continues to grow through documentaries and ghost hunting shows. 8. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. A dense, almost unnaturally silent forest at the foot of Mount Fuji, Aokigahara is known for more than just its beauty. It's one of the most tragic and haunted places in Japan. Known as the Suicide Forest, Aokigahara has a long history tied to death. Japanese folklore speaks of eerie, vengeful spirits, trapped between life and death, wandering the forest endlessly. Many visitors report an overwhelming sense of dread, strange whispers, and even apparitions lurking behind the trees. The forest's eerie stillness, no birds, no wind, just an unnatural quiet, has made it the setting for horror films and books, including The Forest, 2016. Despite warnings, thrill seekers still venture into Aokigahara, some never to return. 7. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, USA. A prison designed to inflict total isolation, Eastern State Penitentiary was once the most feared correctional facility in America. The idea was simple: complete solitude would force prisoners to repent. Instead, it drove many to madness. Inmates were kept in tiny, windowless cells, often hooded to prevent interaction. Many suffered mental breakdowns, and some even died within these walls. Today, the prison's crumbling halls and abandoned cells are home to something else, something unseen. Visitors and staff report hearing whispers, seeing ghostly figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread in certain parts of the prison. Shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures have investigated the site, capturing chilling evidence that suggests the inmates never really left. 6. The Queen Mary, Long Beach, USA. Once a luxury ocean liner, now a floating hotel, the Queen Mary carries a legacy of death and tragedy. During its time at sea, at least 50 people died on board, including sailors who were crushed by the ship's massive doors. Today, visitors and staff report strange occurrences all over the ship. The most haunted area, the infamous Room B340, which was sealed off for years due to excessive paranormal activity. Guests staying in that room claim to hear knocks on the walls, see dark figures at the foot of their beds, and feel unseen hands grabbing them in the night. The ship's chilling history has made it one of the most famous haunted locations in America, inspiring countless investigations and horror stories. 5. The Myrtles Plantation, Louisiana, USA. Built in 1796, the Myrtles Plantation has long been considered one of the most haunted homes in the United States. Legends tell of a slave named Chloe, who was brutally punished and later sought revenge by poisoning the plantation owner's children. It's said her spirit still lingers, appearing in windows and photographs taken by visitors. But she's not alone. The Myrtles Plantation is rumored to be home to at least 10 different spirits, including murdered children and former owners. Ghost tours are held regularly, where guests have reported hearing disembodied laughter, feeling icy touches, and even seeing doors slam shut on their own. 4. The Tower of London, England. One of the most infamous prisons in history, the Tower of London has witnessed executions, betrayals, and endless suffering. It's no surprise that it remains one of the most haunted places in the world. The most famous ghost? Anne Boleyn, the doomed queen beheaded by Henry VIII. Her spirit has been seen walking the tower's halls, sometimes carrying her severed head. Many visitors report hearing screams, seeing ghostly figures, and even feeling sudden cold spots in areas where executions once took place. With centuries of dark history, the tower remains a chilling reminder of the past. 3. The Winchester Mystery House, California, USA. A mansion with staircases leading to nowhere, doors that open into walls, and windows built into floors. The Winchester Mystery House is a true architectural nightmare. Sarah Winchester, widow of the rifle magnate, believes she was haunted by the spirits of those killed by Winchester firearms. To appease them, she spent 38 years constructing this bizarre mansion. Visitors claim to hear ghostly footsteps, see shadowy figures, and even feel an unseen presence watching them. The house remains one of the strangest and most haunted locations in America, inspiring films and endless speculation. 2. The Amityville House, New York, USA. The site of a gruesome mass murder in 1974, the Amityville house became the setting for one of the most famous haunted stories of all time. The Lutz family, who moved in after the murders, reported terrifying experiences. Walls dripping with slime, voices whispering in the night, and a shadowy figure with red glowing eyes. Their experiences became the basis for the Amityville horror books and films, turning the house into a pop culture phenomenon. While skeptics debate the truth of the haunting, the legend of the Amityville house remains as chilling as ever. 1. The Stanley Hotel, Colorado, USA. The Stanley Hotel looks beautiful, but those who stay there know something isn't right. Guests report ghostly children laughing in empty halls, a piano playing by itself, and the spirits of former owners still watching over the building. But what truly made this hotel famous? Stephen King's overnight stay, which inspired his novel, The Shining. The book and its film adaptation solidified the Stanley as one of the most haunted hotels in America. These places continue to fuel nightmares, blurring the line between legend and reality. Have you ever visited a haunted location, or would you ever dare? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss a new video.